Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zen Tangle teacher. Welcome to day 21 of Inktober. Today's tangle is called Bees by Midori Furuhashi. I'm probably saying her name wrong, but I have it linked in the title of this video. Okay, so today I'm starting with my calendar, which is just a piece of copy paper. The calendar is linked on my Facebook page called Let's Tangle if you would like to print it out. And after I do it on my calendar page, then I'm going to attempt to put it on a larger piece of paper where I'm compiling all of the tangles for the month. Okay, so to start this, I'm using a Micron 01 pen, nice and thin. And Bees starts with a triangle. And then she extends these out. So I'm going to extend this one out like this, and then my next one, and my last one. And then she starts at the top of that triangle, not the top of the line, but the top of the triangle, and she makes a little B, letter B shape that extends just beyond that triangle. And then start at the corner of this triangle, not the end, but the corner, and make a B shape, and then on that side. And she does tend to make hers kind of like, they look like lips, like they kind of fold out a little bit, or you can just do it like that. Okay, so after we get that first round done, then we go to the top of this line. Unless your line is extended out too far and you want to come in a little bit, and we make that another B shape that ends on top of the first B. So that way, go to the end of the line like that. So now for this next round of bees, she starts on the second bump of that second B. So here's that first one, here's the one on top of it, and then she goes out to the end of the line. Just like that. And now you can continue to extend lines out, and you could extend them out of the middle of a B or out in that same spot they extended the first time, or you can just start kind of rounding out your shape. So I'm going to start rounding it out just by putting these little shapes wherever I'd like. And then to finish it off, you can color in the middle, or you can add some little orbs. There you go, bees. Okay, I'm going to scoot this out of the way and move to, to my larger compilation I have going on here. Kind of see it all there. And I'm switching to a thicker pen called the Micron PN, which is called a plastic nib. And then I don't have a plan. I just have to kind of think about where this might fit in. So I kind of have this flower shape going down here. So I think I'll put one right here. All right, so I start with the triangle. I'm going to zoom in a little more again. Okay. I start with a triangle, and I'm going to scoot it in here a little bit because I don't really want it just floating out here. I'd like it to be sort of tucked in. So I make a triangle shape, and then I extend those lines out. So the first one I extend is up this way, that way, and that way. And don't worry if yours doesn't tuck in just right. We can add some filler in later. Okay. Now I don't start at the end, although if I did it would be fine, but we start up here at the corner of the triangle, and I extend just past the bottom of the triangle. This one's kind of tiny. I didn't mean to make it so small, but that side, and that side. And now I go to the top of that line I made, and I come down and I end on that second bump. You do not have to be this specific about it, but I just want to show you what she did. So now I start on that second bump, and I come down to the end, and mine tucks in behind something, so I'm just going to let that go there. And same with that one. And now again, you can extend some more lines out to create more of those B shapes, or you can just round it out, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pick a spot over here and just start making some B shapes. And there we go. And then in the center, I'm going to darken mine, although you can add the little orbs if you'd like. And then one thing she does on some of hers is she darkens those top bumps. So just sort of adding a little thickening, and look at how pretty that makes that. Just thickening that top bump a little bit. The belly of the bees maybe. So you can go ahead and do that. And then I always try to do a variation. So I was playing around with this idea and thought it would be fun to do it on a circle. So I made a circle like that. And then I extended out the sides in like a C shape, but I did 3 of them as if it were a triangle. And then I started at the top of the line to make my first B. So see how it's the same idea, but just a variation of it. And after I did that, I just kept adding bees wherever I wanted to round it out. That's kind of fun. And then in the little nook of that curve there, I can put a flick and a dot, and I can add an accent in the middle. If I want to make this bigger, I can. So all of these tangles are meant to be a starting point, and then you play around and make it what you want. So another variation I did was back to the triangle. Maybe I'll put one down in here. So I did that triangle shape again, and I extended it out. But then I thought it would be fun to start with a heart shape, which is still basically the bumps of a bee. So here's my first line, and then I actually go on the opposite line here, kind of like the letter L, and I bumped out and made a heart that way. Does that make sense? So I have this line coming out here, and I go to the opposite line, and I bump that out to make a heart. So this line, and I go to the opposite one, bump out and make a heart. So it's still the triangle, the line, and the bees, but now we've got cute little heart shapes. And then I just added the heart bump outs. This one you can't see because it's hiding. And then I added a few more. Same concept, but just a little bit different, a variation. And then in here you can do the orbs, or you can fill it in, or do something more creative if you want. So that's it. Play around, have fun with Midori's tangle called Bees. And on this one, as I'm sitting here looking at it, I feel like I want to aura it, just to tie it all in together, like that. Okay, there you go. I guess I could spend 1 minute shading just so you have an idea of how to shade this one. So I think on this one here, I would shade it where these little lines come out. And then I would add shading where at the top of these bees, just a tiny bit, to show where those petals go over the next one. So I'm going to smooth out those. And then the top of the bees. See how that gives it a layered look, as if these are on top and they get further behind. And same thing on this one. I think I would do inside of these curves. And then the top of each bee. And I'll just give you an idea of what that looks like. Inside these curves, and then the top of the bee. See how that looks layered compared to this side over here? All right, I'm going to stop there. Enjoy, have fun, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.